Alright guys, it's been a while since I recorded anything. There's going to be a fairly significant change to my channel coming soon. I'll let you guys know what that is, but basically for the sake of the YouTube algorithm, I'm going to separate out car type stuff, ATV, stuff with wheels and engines. I'm going to separate that out from, in fact, SolidWorks is going away on my channel. All the DIY stuff, all the farm stuff, all my personal stuff is going to go on a separate channel. So what I thought I'd talk about today is I was going to paint the car, of all things. I was going to throw some single stage on it. But when I went to price the single stage, it's like $300, and I don't know why I had it in my mind that it was going to be $100. I'm sure it was never that much, but somewhere in my mind I had it being $100 for a gallon of single stage, and it's not. It's like 300. So, damn crows. So I'm gonna clean this panel up, pull off all the accessories off of it, paint it kind of a satin black. I would have showed you guys the de-installation, but it's an old truck, and all of the panel clips are broke off because they're old plastic. So I am ordering new ones in from Amazon. I'll show you that here in a sec. But anyways, we're just going to pull this panel apart, and we're going to then prep it and paint it. So I'll get you guys in a little closer. So I don't want to paint this cloth part, and on the back side there's these little tabs. I'll pull it out. I already did it and then realized I should be videoing it. They're just little metal tabs that bend up, and when you put it in, you bend them down flat. You probably would only get 3 or 4 times of doing that, and they'll break off. So this pulls off fairly easy. I think I'm gonna pull the speaker cover out. I'm gonna tape that off because that's too hard to get out. I'm gonna pull this here and see if I can do something about this foam that's no good. Maybe fix that. And if the chrome I think the chrome might pull off, so I'll do that too. So pulled this off. This is really easy. I'm gonna go set this in the truck. I'll be right back. So on this door panel, originally it had clips, right? So the clips go here and they just slide in, and then they push through the holes. Well, obviously the clips all broke. So what some redneck guy did was he drilled holes in 3 corners, and then there's a factory screw that goes down inside of here. And so I was gonna fill this hole, but I just don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's worth the time. I think I'm just gonna get this cleaned up and painted. When you pull this off, you gotta pull the door handle out to get it off. On the other door, I'll show you guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna clean this up. Next step is just to wipe it down with lacquer thinner or whatever, and then start masking it out to get it ready to paint. So I'll save you guys watching that. Alright guys, I'm gonna wipe this down with some gun wash. This happens to be a Grow brand, but just any old gun wash will work. Rag, whoops. Helps if you don't drop your rags. So I'm gonna wipe it down real quick, and then we'll get it ready. I'm gonna mask out and get it ready for paint. And I don't know if you can see it, but a little blue's coming off. This window and door text is also trying to come off on me. The gun wash is probably a little too strong for the text. So this chrome strip here, I think I'm actually going to pull it off, but I'm going to go ahead and clean it while it's on the trim, on the door. The door handle is broke pretty bad, so they're $35 a pair. I don't think I'm going to replace it just because I'm trying to sell the vehicle, so I don't think it's worth it as far as time goes. I am trying to slightly etch the plastic. You know, you want the new paint to stick. So I definitely want the plastic to, if possible, ever so slightly melt. Not a lot, but a little bit. Like I said, there's definitely blue plastic that's coming off. And it's an old panel, very old. So what you'll find with these real old panels is the plastic actually gets kind of chalky almost. Alright guys, I thought I'd show you this real quick. So this is the chrome strip. These tabs just bend up and they've got little keepers that you twist them 90 degrees to keep them locked in, or otherwise they just slip off the tabs. But this is the chrome piece. It comes off pretty easy if you're careful. I'm going to set it over here. And so we're pretty much ready to paint. I got to mask this off and then we're about ready. Alright guys. I'm going to start some reinstallation. I got it painted black. It's okay. It's not perfect by any means, but it's not bad. So just cleaning this chrome or stainless or whatever it is off real quick. And as soon as I get that done, we'll get it put in place here. Paint's still a little tacky, so I'm trying to be real careful. Alright, so there's the chrome piece. I'm not going to flip it over just yet because it's too tacky to touch, so we'll get that in there, and then I'll get the cloth piece in here in just a minute. Alright guys, so I've got two-part epoxy in this joint here. I had to grind that out to get the pocket apart. This paint isn't drying as quickly as I wanted it to. I'm a little concerned. It's kind of tacky. So we'll see how that goes. It's been hours. Hold on. Alright guys, so what I was saying is there's two-part epoxy in here. I don't know of how well it's going to do it. It sort of broke down the paint, so I'm a little concerned. We'll find out. So I've got some weight on here to let it naturally dry. It takes 10 minutes supposedly. So I'm going to let that kick off, and 10 minutes from now I'm going to check it. Hopefully it's a good report, not a bad one. So in the meantime, I'm just letting this sit and trying to be patient. But yeah, this is definitely tacky. I may have to put a final coat on it. I'm not sure. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, it's the next day. I didn't show you all bending all these tabs down. Basically, you push against the chrome and bend them down tight. Now these last two tabs were a special setup where at the factory they bent it over, and then they this clip was turned 90 degrees. So I'm not quite sure how this was supposed to work. I'm going to attempt to do what they did, which was they bent it over and then they turned it like that. Now I don't know how they got it real tight, so I'm actually going to slide it down ahead of time and try to bend it over. I had pliers, but I don't even know if I'm going to need them. Yeah, they somehow they pulled this up through here, and then did they rotate it back? I think they actually left it like that, so it's perpendicular to the flat. But that's how it was. I'm going to glue this back with some contact cement. And then there's one down here. You guys turned a little bit. And same setup here. They had this slid down and turned really tight, as tight as I can get it. And then it was just bent down. So that's the chrome piece install. I'm going to glue this down a little bit later. So I did a two-part epoxy on this thing, but what it did, the epoxy melted out some of the glue, and this thing is dirty as all get out. So I'm gonna respray that. I left this paint in the house, so it's already warmed up. It's some crappy spray paint. But basically all I'm gonna do is touch up this area here where I'll flip it around for you guys so you can see it. And let's see, can you guys see? Move you around. So right along here there's some like mess ups and it just didn't go well. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I left this in the house overnight because I didn't want it to do what's called blushing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little spraying. So that should take care of that. Hopefully that's not glossier than the rest of the paint. We'll let it sit up for a little bit and then we'll see if this is high gloss and this is a lower gloss. So one of the things, let me get you guys up where you can see me. One of the things that I messed up on is I bought satin, so there was flat, matte, satin, and gloss. Well, I thought satin would be a lower gloss than it is. It's not. It's a fairly high gloss, and I wish that I would have went with matte. So if you guys are doing this, I think the color I was looking for was matte, not flat. I didn't want it dead flat, but I wanted low gloss, and this wasn't. So if you're doing this, don't do the satin unless you want that really wet look, which I didn't want, so I'm just gonna have to live with it. But hopefully this turns out okay, and I'll show you guys the next step here in a little bit when we get this panel in here in the middle. So talk to you guys in a bit. By the way, it's the next day. Alright guys, so another day has gone by. My dad's over there weed eating, so I'll have to deal with that. I put this in ahead of time, but this just, all the tabs are bent out. So like I said before, you just stick it through and bend them over. So I'm gonna push it through. Carefully flip this thing over here. And start bending the tabs over. So obviously, you just gotta do one at a time. Make sure you're pushing up on the tabs. Kind of hard for you guys to see. Here's some of the tabs over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if it's on camera. Yeah, you guys can see that. So these tabs over here, just bend them the way they were before. Make sure and get it tight. Now I've found that this paint that I used is pretty fragile crap. So I got a little overspray right here. I'm gonna have to clean off the chrome, but other than that, pretty much good to go. So last thing I'm gonna do is the door handle here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Alright guys, you know me, sweating as usual. It's hot in here, it's like 105 out. So this is sort of the end to the door panel video. There really wasn't much that I did past that, so I did a ton of work to the door handles. Do I have them around here? Yeah, I got one in here, but I'm not going to get it out. It ended up that I bought them off of a website. It just, I couldn't get the foam shaped correctly. I haven't done a lot of interior work with fabric and foam and stuff, so I'm really bad at it. The downside is the new door handles are pretty cheap. I got them off a reputable website. I think they're just Chinese knockoffs, and it's the best they do nowadays. So there's really not much more to show. The door handle needs to be put on, and then the little brackets need to go on the back. But I just thought I'd close this one out for you guys. I'm going to do it to the other door panel when I get a chance. Truck's totally in flux right now just because of the whole Wuhan whoopsie-daisy and all kinds of stuff. That's affected my income as a designer. I'm trying to kind of switch over in midstream, got the truck tore apart. So if you guys have watched any of the current videos, you know I've got the engine out of the truck and it went way further than just door panels. So like I always say, I hope this helps somebody, and I will talk to you guys later.